Hello ratbags, it's Jade Plays Games. Welcome to the JPG Game News. Today we've got loads of stuff going on. In the background you can see some footage of Islands of Nyne, a brand new sort of PUBG style battlegrounds game in early alpha. It's currently available on PC in alpha sessions every other weekend, and it should be hopefully hitting Steam early access very soon. And speaking of PUBG, we've got loads of info about why they're banning everyone, what's going on in the community, why are so many people getting bans. The latest updates to hit the game, as well as a bunch of other stuff coming very soon. Also going to be talking about the latest Culling update and Conan Exiles. We've got a tiny little bit more extra info about what to expect when it hits console in August the 16th. So you may have caught a story a couple of weeks ago when Dr. Disrespect was banned from Battlegrounds for actually shooting one of his teammates. The volatile streamer, really popular, actually got banned and had a word of war, or war of words even, on Twitter with the creator. It got to the point where Dr. Disrespect actually threatened to kick PlayerUnknown's head in. Now I'm not going to go through every tweet and everything that was said, but it got pretty heated until PlayerUnknown's categorically stated that it's not okay to talk like that in the game or out of the game. Part of the rule set for PlayerUnknown's is that if you talk like that at all, any threatening behaviour or abusiveness in chat, you can actually get a life ban. And it is also a ban for intentionally killing a teammate. Here's the footage right here of the moment Dr. Disrespect actually killed one of his own teammates to get on top of a bike. The clip was reported, and even though he's one of the biggest streamers of PUBG going, he was actually banned. So that leads me on to the next point. Stream sniping is a massive issue in online games like PUBG. If you don't know what stream sniping is, it's the act of following a streamer or YouTuber and killing him in game by watching his actual stream or video. Now most online games do have some sort of protection against this, and there's lots of advice against streamers from showing stuff that may give them away and what lobbies they're in, etc. But in PUBG, if you are caught following the streamer, you can actually get banned. One player got banned for a week and it caused a massive uproar on all the forum sites. To the point that Brendan Green, the creator of PUBG, actually had to make a full statement saying he'd seen the community data and the ban was indeed justified. The tracking shows that the player in question tried to join the same lobby as their target multiple times. While we understand we cannot prove that this player was watching the target's broadcast, we see no other reason why they consistently attempt to be in the same lobby as someone. The reason it's caused uproar is because many people feel that there wasn't enough proof. There has been many reports of abuse by streamers against random players because they feel like they've been stream sniped without any actual evidence. And normally it is on the streamer to make sure they do, like I said, steps to make sure no one can see what lobby they're in. And while the ban isn't as serious as the ban for actual violent or abusive behaviour in chat, it's definitely caused a massive uproar. With over 5 million players now playing PUBG Unknown Battlegrounds on PC alone, trying to keep the community happy is going to be one of their major tasks going forward. So they have promised to actually revamp the system regarding stream sniping. Not just that, but how you actually report it, and they're putting extra systems in place. So that feature will be implemented in this week's coming update. So that's all the drama out of the way. What else is going on in the land of PUBG? So the next monthly update has been pushed to August the 3rd. This update was actually meant to come out a little while ago in July, but it turns out it's been delayed a little bit longer. It's going to have an FOV slider for first person view. Here's a tiny few little screenshots of what to expect when the FOV slider comes in. You can see the minimum distance and the maximum distance. The full patch notes for the actual update have now been released, and if we go through them, at the start of them is an apology from PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. I'm going to be talking to you about some of the loot crates that you expect to see soon, but basically there's going to be some new ones that you can actually pay for with real money. PlayerUnknown's explains they have to get this system in place, even though they said they wouldn't do this during early access. They need to test it and make sure it's viable when the actual game goes gold in December or January. As usual with lots of items like this on the Steam marketplace, you can actually trade them and sell them, and they're purely vanity items. They don't affect anything available in game, it's purely just the look. You can see in the background there's some pictures here. So while this isn't actually going to be implemented in this update, expect it very soon. They've added 2 new face styles and hairstyles, character customization for both genders. First person server options are going to be now available, guys, and if you do choose first person mode you'll be matched together. The new feature to report players will be in game. They've added a new animation when using different consumables, decreased the reload time of the VSS, and you can now re-enter a game if you've been disconnected mid-game. You can also now play with your Xbox controllers, yay! A bunch of new sound effects for the character running or aiming. There's a new lower rail attachment slot to the SKS. You can now honk your car horn when sitting in the driver's seat with left mouse click. Some more sound improvements for vehicles. They've improved the effects of boats, and they've reduced the actual cast time of first aid kit or the painkiller to 6 seconds and reduced the cost of the med kit and adrenaline syringe to 8 seconds. There's a brand new V-Sync option, more features and hotkeys to the options menu. There's a new colourblind mode. They've added some region names to the minimap. And there's now a new option to display helmet, vest and backpack equipped on the HUD UI. Alongside that, a new option as well to display all equipped weapons on the right side of the screen. A bunch of other bug fixes and a goodbye from Brendan Green. He's going to be travelling for the next few months, so he won't be doing the actual community blogs anymore. The new MK14 EBR is coming in game in August, guys. So expect all of this stuff around the 3rd of August. Another really exciting feature coming to the game is drop and roll. Yes, Call of Duty fans rejoice. You will now be able to drop and shot as much as you want. No actual word exactly when this will actually hit the update. It may even come in August if there are 2 updates. Otherwise, maybe expect to see this sometime after August. Brendan Green has been talking about actually modding. Obviously, he comes from the modding background for Arma 3, and that's what made him famous. And he says he ultimately wants to actually release it to people so they can do the same. However, they've got to be careful about the secrecy of the server files in case anyone tries to rip it off. His plans include actually PUBG being a service that goes around for the next 10 years rather as just a standalone game. Brendan also has bad news about the new maps front. We'd hope that maybe these would be in development and be ready by the time the game releases. It looks like only one of them might be. He says, I'm not sure about the 2 new maps being ready, one of them may be. We're going to do a blog post about the current state of the new maps. The images we released a few weeks ago were what we call a beautiful corner, where the artist spends a lot of time creating a small patch to give a sense of what the overall map looks like, and it gives a false impression that these maps are really far along. I'll be going to that bit on my dev blog so we can temper people's expectations. Obviously it takes a lot to actually develop this game and get the right people in, and you can't just simply always chuck money at it. However, with 5 million sales, I think they could have maybe made a bit more room for someone to go and create these maps a bit quicker. So don't hold your hopes up for brand new maps coming anytime soon. In fact, it looks like when the game releases sometime in December or January is when we might actually get to see an extra map rather than 2. So that's all the PUBG stuff out of the way. Let's take a look at the Culling. The Culling recently had an update last week on Xbox that finally made it on par with PC. Brand new events have been added to the game, and there are now new ranked leaderboards. Players earn a match score based on position, kills and time alive. Your 10 best match scores are combined to provide the season score. Depending on your season score, you may find yourself in one of 5 ranks: bronze, silver, gold, platinum or diamond. The top players in each rank are displayed for all to see. There's 2 new cosmetics, 2 new outfits for male and female, and with over 150 varieties of track tops, turtlenecks and Oxford shorts. 8 new victory celebration animations, 3 new sets of weapon skins, 11 skins each for the pitchfork, camp hatchet and hammer. And then events like I mentioned are the Blood Moon. The sky takes a crimson cast, and for a brief time all contestants' locations are revealed with a spooky red highlight. No place to run, no place to hide. In Blood Moon nobody is safe. And the next event is Boombox. A booming red subwoofer crate appears in the centre of the arena. In order to relieve this funky crate, you'll need to drop the beat with a bang. Luckily for you, a helping handful of explosive barrels are loaded into the arena. Bombs away. Very similar in fact to the Golden Crowbar. It looks like the barrel Boombox one will be pretty much the same thing. Each new category receives a new upside downside perk. Will the benefits outweigh the risks? Tight grip utility, your ranged weapons cannot be disarmed but your movement speed is reduced by 5%. Tanky, incoming melee damage is reduced by 10% but incoming range damage is increased by 10%. And Jogger movement speed while fists are equipped increased by 10% but all incoming damage increased by 10%. And then lastly, finishing off the brand new perks, Berserker Combat. All damage dealt increased by 10%, but player loses the benefit of Natural Cannibal. No HP restored when killing an opponent. They've also nerfed the stamina. I told you guys last time they'd accidentally made a mistake giving too much stamina being able to use while you're running. They've nerfed that now. There's a brand new HUD icon to indicate when a player is crouching, walking and sprinting, and a bunch of various little bugs and fixes. Sadly, the Culling's numbers on Xbox One have dipped quite significantly since launch, just as it did on PC. I've played a little bit in my downtime and I can definitely see the drop in actual server numbers in Europe. Now it may be just this time of year as lots of gaming things like this do actually receive a bit of a hit while families go away on holiday, but it does seem like the hype around the Culling has died down a little bit. So hopefully some of these updates and things like this that I can keep pumping them out will draw people back into the game. I definitely would like to see some more game modes and an actual really more balanced edition of the weapons and what they all do and how they all work. Currently it just feels like you can just spam the most buttons, you'll win the game. Definitely would like to see more strategy evolving around some of the weapons. Now just a tiny bit of info about Conan Exiles. Conan Exiles is coming out on the 16th of August for Xbox One Early Access. Beside the release on Xbox One, they are bringing as well a brand new expansion. In the background you can actually see one of the brand new gods that comes as part of that expansion. He looks a pretty mean fellow. The Exiles team have been pretty quiet since a few weeks ago when they announced some of the key features coming, but you can see from this screenshot the actual play in the new early access, the Xbox One version. I'm really stoked for this. I really think this is what it needs to give itself a shot in the arm. Interest in Conan Exiles has died down dramatically, with the big streamers all streaming many other games straight after actually spending only maybe a week covering the initial release. It definitely needs a new sense of life and I think it will receive a lot of attention on Xbox One. Let's hope it just runs fairly well and the development team can continue doing the good work they're actually doing. So, Islands of Nyne finishing off now after seeing lots of the gameplay intermingled with all of that information. It's in closed alpha at the moment on Steam and it is planning to come to console when it launches. Very early alpha at the moment. I got a chance to play it as you can see from the footage, and although I didn't do much, it felt quite good. I really like the environment, I really like the map. It is made with the Unreal Engine 4, so it should be fairly easy to port over to Xbox One. And with a little bit of extra work, I'm sure it will be able to come to PS4, unless the big boys decide to, you know, fight over who gets it first. Considering it's meant to have a more of a space agey theme, other than like some jump pads and the ability not to take damage when you fall, there's not really much differentiating it from something like the Culling. You start with this basic knife that actually materialises after every time you throw it, and then you just pick up guns randomly placed just like PUBG. With the guns actually showing no real sci-fi themes, and the place that you're actually fighting in is more of a medieval world. So it's a very strange mix. And I quite like it. So expect some more information about that once it goes into full early access. I will be the first to let you know when it's ready to go, and I'll give you another preview if there's any more alpha weekends going. So that is it for the game news. I'm going to be back for more detailed look at some fantasy games you've seen on my channel lately. We're going to be going over some of the patch notes for Citadels, Forged with Fire, as well as Dark and Light and what they propose to do for the future of the game. So until next time, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you ratbags later.